Good evening. You are once again welcome to another exciting edition of The Watchman, a show dedicated to discussing topical issues of national and public interest. Now, we do this because we are your watchman. My name is Opoku-Agyemang. It's been a long time since we bring you an edition, and we can promise you that for this 2022, as we've just begun, we will keep you updated and bring you exciting episode every week. My name again is Opoku-Agyemang. Let's go straight to our topic, but before we do so, let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll introduce you to the topic of the Watchman's Take.
Do you want to build your dream home, from land acquisition to finishing anywhere in Ghana? Do you want to revive the life and beauty of your old house? Do you have any property in Ghana that you want it managed for side income? Then look no further. Senko Global Developers Limited is at your service. We offer the following services at affordable rates: building construction, renovation works, electrical engineering, biofuel digester construction, building plan drawing, sales of land and houses, supply of construction materials. We also give you the opportunity to invest in our properties. Call or WhatsApp us on 0201 950 509 or email us on info@senkoglobal.com. You can also visit our website at www.senkoglobal.com. Locate us at the first floor of the Denta Shopping Center. Senko Developers, building for generation.
You are welcome back again to The Watchman, and this episode is The Watchman's Take on a national issue. And we go straight to the point, which is a question we are asking, that Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang's nomination to the Court of Appeal, another insult by government. We ask this question simply because we know and we believe, and of the strong view that many other Ghanaians have this question lingering on their lips following the issues that has come out to the public domain with respect to the nomination of Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang. February 8, 2020, the Attorney General's office made an announcement that it has nominated or recommended some personalities to the Court of Appeal, and Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang happened to be one of the nominees. This very list of nomination then come with a report by the General Legal Counsel in a letter dated February 14th, 2022, meaning that about few days after he was nominated, the General Legal Counsel now brought a report which sought to indict Mr. Opoku-Agyemang to have illegally admitted some 10 students into the Ghana Law School. Now, this very letter generated a huge controversy, and every ordinary Ghanaian, including myself, will have thought that immediately this report came up, the nomination of Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang will have been withdrawn, because the issues that the General Legal Counsel found him guilty of illegally, admitting these students are grave misconduct. But what are we seeing in the country? Nothing. The government has not, or the Attorney General have not withdrawn his nomination, and it appears to be the normal way of government trying to handle issues of such nature. That is why we are asking whether this also is another insult. Let's take you back into the memory lane. Certain issues that happened had to do with reports of government's own institutions citing its officials in some wrongdoing, but either government never took steps to punish those officials, or government will have to promote those officials. And we will take, first of all, let's look at Mr. Charles Bisu. Mr. Charles Bisu was cited in Anas's Galamsey fraud and was seen in video, counting money. But what did we see? At the time, Mr. Charles Bisu was a presidential staffer. He was not sacked, he was never prosecuted, and we have not seen any action from government on Mr. Charles Bisu. Then comes Mr. Pius Enam Hajide, who was cited by a report of the ministry, of the sports ministry, to have cited him to have engaged in a visa scandal. But what did we see? The government took no action against Mr. Enam Hajide, but rather reassigned him from the sports ministry to deputy information minister. Assigned someone that have been indicted by his own minister have been reassigned to another deputy ministerial position. As if that was not enough, this same Pius Enam Hajide is now made the CEO of National Youth Authority, meaning that the report whatsoever that was found, nothing was done. Then comes, you also remember in the case of the assault of Caleb Kuda and Zoe Abubedu, they are all of CTTV. They were assaulted at the national security premises, and a committee set out by the national security minister or ministry found some officials culpable of, assaulting the guy or the journalist. But what did we see? Lieutenant Colonel Frank Agyemang, instead of punishment handed over to him, he was transferred from the national security to now go and head the 64 Infantry Battalion Regiment as the commanding officer. Someone that have been cited in a wrongdoing, instead of either punishing him, demoting him, or sacking him, he was rather elevated. He was rather promoted to a higher, office. Now, let's also go to the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election. What did we see? ACP Azugu and his SWAT team, a lot of them were cited in the Presidential Inquiry Commission into that particular mayhem. But what did we see? ACP Azugu will still remain in office until recent incident or issue that has to do with the national security, again operatives, again that he was transferred. Now, all the hoodlums that participated in the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election mayhem are also now free. So it appears that anyone that the government committee or government has established a committee to investigate and came up with a report, the person is either elevated or the person remains in office. So this is becoming a worrying trend. That is why we are asking whether that of Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang's own is also another insult. Because one would have thought that immediately the General Legal Council came up with their report and published same, or the report was leaked, at least the Attorney General Office will have taken necessary steps to withdraw the nomination, but he still remained there. But thanks be to God that two proactive citizens have sent the matter to the Supreme Court. A+ and Bruja Jemfi have filed a writ questioning and then asking the court to make certain declarations. Now, let's now go down the memory lane and see who is this Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang. We all know the role that Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang played in the removal of Mrs. Charlotte Osei as the Electoral Commissioner of the Electoral Commission. Mr. Opoku-Agyemang was the one who actually orchestrated and engineered the removal of Mrs. Charlotte Osei. Why did I say so? He was the one who actually signed the petition on behalf of the faceless staff of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. And he was the one who actually championed everything that has to do with the removal of. Now, why are we asking whether karma is at work in the case of Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang? You see, anytime you have positions of this nature, it is normally the practice is congratulatory messages and all that. But in the case of Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang, instead of these congratulatory messages, he has been faced with series of lawsuits And that is why we are asking whether this is karma that is coming after Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang. Why? Because this is the very man who actually engineered the removal of Charlotte Osei from office, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. This was the man who actually authored a petition and signed on behalf of some faceless staff at the office, the Electoral Commission. And he made sure that everything that he has to do, he has done it to remove Charlotte Osei from office. As if that was not enough, the rule, Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, clearly states the procedure that has to do with the removal of Article 41 office, Article 14 office holders. And one section of that particular clause states clearly what needs to be done anytime a petition is written for the removal of Article 41 office holder. And let me read a portion of that section of the Constitution to you. And it says, Article 146 clause 3 says that if the president receives a petition for the removal of a superior court other than the Chief Justice, or for the removal of the chairman of a regional tribunal, he shall refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie. Now, what this clause in the Constitution is saying that once a petition is sent to the president of the land, the president even will not act on the petition or even read the content of the petition. The petition just have to be forwarded to the Chief Justice, which will now establish a prima facie. Prima facie means that after reading the petition, whether the grounds on which the petition was authored have any element that could actually prosecute that particular case. And once a prima facie have been established, the Chief Justice now establish a committee which will now look into the petition and investigate the issues and the allegations outlined in the petition. Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang, who is a lawyer, violated this particular clause and this particular rule. And what did he do? What he did was that after petitioning the president, petition that he himself authored, signed on behalf of some faceless officials or staff at the Electoral Commission, he published the content of the petition on social media and in the mainstream media. This was what actually pushed Mrs. Charlotte Osei to file a defamation suit against him at the High Court. Why is this so? Because the rule is saying that in the case that the content of the petition is made public, it means that people, and once those allegations, the committee has not found them to be substantial enough and have upheld those allegations and the finding, it means that when you publish that particular information in the media and to people and social media, you have defamed the person. So Mrs. Charlotte Osei took a step and went to court, telling the court that Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang has defamed her. Now, she continued this particular action. Each steps of the hearing at the Chief Justice's committee, they made sure that they publish every content, even including the proceedings of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice Committee, published dito, word for word in Daily Guide. In fact, to your information, I was the petitioner in the case of Amadou Sule and Georgina Opoku-Amankwa. I have never made public, me that I'm not a lawyer, me that I will expect that Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang should have known better than me with respect to the law and the rules governing this particular, issues that we are talking about. Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang consistently violated the rules. And he had his way. In the case of my district, Daily Guide was publishing dito the proceedings of my case until I have to raise an issue, write a letter to the chairperson of the committee, drawing the attention to what Daily Guide was doing. And now, here you are. Now, your issue has come. You have not even yet tasted the position as a judge at the Supreme Court yet. Yet, you have been hit by a series of lawsuits. And look at what the General Legal Counsel have found against you. And with the kind of country we are now, we are sure, we are really sure that giving this man this particular position as the Court of Appeal judge on the face of what the General Legal Counsel has said is the right thing to do. If someone of this caliber, a lawyer who have been found guilty of illegally admitting people, and is made a Court of Appeal judge, what about, and he remains there, what if another person brought a case of the same incident to him? What will he do? Will he have the moral right to stand on that or to sit on that particular case? So this is why we are asking whether karma is coming after Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang. In our next episode, we'll take our time to digest the issues one after the other. My name has always been Efo Kosisenyo, and this is the Watchman's Take. Good night.